Hello, Patriots. I'm Lee Watts, and this is Patriot Point, your source for Kentucky news and analysis from a conservative, Christian, and common sense point of view. Well, this week we're going to be looking at changes to the Kentucky Constitution in 2024. Is it going to change or not is entirely up to you. This November, there will be two proposed changes to the Kentucky Constitution on your ballot. So if you do straight ticket balloting, where you hit the button to just vote straight Republican, or if you go crazy and hit the button that says straight Democrat, then you have not voted on these constitutional proposals. You have to go in and vote for them separately, or you don't get any vote at all. So that's a warning with straight ticket voting. Remember to also vote for the constitutional amendments. So let's look at both of these, whether they're good or bad. The first one that'll be listed on your ballot is basically says that you must be a citizen in order to vote in our elections. Now, someone would probably think,
well, duh.
Yes, you think this would be a no-brainer. You have to be a citizen in order to vote in the elections. However, what the legislature is doing is cutting off at the pass some troubles that they can see coming down the road. There's been other cities throughout the country where they've said you have to be a citizen in order to vote in this state. And then you have some liberal cities or judges that have said, no, we're going to make special rules here. Like, we're going to break the law. That's why you have these sanctuary cities where just breaking the law of the nation and of that state. And so to make sure this doesn't happen, the state legislature wants to put in the Constitution saying you have to be a citizen in order to vote.
Well, duh.
Now, I'm not saying that we're going to have any cities in Kentucky that might think about doing this. I don't like to mention names, but one of them rhymes with Louisville, which brings up an important question that all Kentuckians must face. How do you pronounce this word here? Is it pronounced A, Louisville, or B, Louisville, C, Louisville? Now, people from Kentucky don't say the S. The S is dead to us in this word, okay? D, Louisville, or E, Louisville. So vote in the comments on which way you think this word should be pronounced. Or if you got a different one, write that down as well. But back to the matter at hand. The First Amendment proposal that'll be on your ballots this November will be to say that only citizens can vote in Kentucky elections. So yes, I will be voting yes. Encourage all conservatives to be voting yes on amendment proposal number 1. Now it takes us to the other one. There's only going to be 2 on your ballots. The other one is allowing for school choice in Kentucky. Right now, under the law, they are only allowed to use tax dollars to fund public schools. But this would allow the legislature to make laws that would allow some of that money to be used for private schools. Here's the wording that'll be on your ballots. To give parents choices and educational opportunities for their children. Are you in favor of enabling the General Assembly to provide financial support for the education costs of students in kindergarten through 12th grade who are outside of the system of common public schools by amending the Constitution of Kentucky as stated below? And you can see the different sections of the Constitution that would require changing to make this change. So that's the wording that's going to be on the ballot. What this would do is allow parents who are low-income parents to have the opportunity to send their kid to private school. Right now, only parents who can afford it have that as an option. And this would really open up this opportunity for middle income or lower income families for them to have the right to have school choice as well. Here you see a picture in green. These are the states that do have school choice laws, and the state in red is the one that doesn't have a school choice law. You see, Kentucky needs school choice. Right now, the schools are pushing this radical leftist socialist agenda. I think it'd be a good idea if we actually had an option for kids to go to a school not pushing that, and enable all Kentucky students to have that option, not only the ones with parents who can afford it. Right now, the government has a monopoly on education funds, and whenever you get a monopoly by the government, you always get a lower quality thing that's really runs at a high price. Competition lowers prices and increases quality. When we're talking about government schools versus schools run by the private industry. Let me give you what President Reagan said about this.
Outside of its legitimate functions, government does nothing as well or as economically as the private sector of the economy. In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
President Reagan was correct. The government does nothing as well as or as economically as the private sector of the economy. By having the school choice, we are going to get a better end product because, after all, Kentucky has persistent low test scores throughout the state in all kinds of areas. Let's put some competition in there and get a better product to help Kentucky students and allow all families of any income level to be able to afford a choice in where they send their students. I, for one, will be a strong proponent voting yes on both Amendments 1 and 2 on the ballot this November, and I hope you will as well. If this information has been helpful to you, then make sure you hit like and share this video with others who may not know, hey, these are the changes being proposed to our Constitution, what they mean, and whether they are good or not. And I hope this will be a help to you. So until next week, I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point, reminding you that liberty is not a spectator sport.
Well, duh.